I wasn't originally planning on doing a video talking about Z-A. I did a brief tweet talking about the starters and my thoughts on it, but why not? I'm here. May as well. So I'm just gonna, we got the website open, just gonna yap a little bit about my thoughts on the recent trailer from the Pokemon Presents that dropped a handful of hours ago. So, Z-A. Do I think it's gonna be good? Well, from what we've got, I can't tell you a lot. But we're just gonna scroll through the website and talk about things as and when they pop up. So first of all, the starters. I mean, they immediately show up, but yeah. Let's talk about these three first. In my opinion, very, very mid selection. If you look at the previous Legends game, Arceus, we had starters from 3 different regions, right? We had Oshawott, we had Typhlosion, and we had Rowlet, right? 3 different regions. Here we've got 2 Gen 2 Pokemon and a Gen 5 Pokemon, which aligns up with the previous PLA game. Well, PL game, not PLA, that's Pokemon Legends Arceus, but bugger off. Right, and we had a Gen 2, a Gen 5, and then a Gen 6. Here we've got Gen 2, Gen 2, Gen 5. I feel like one of these, either Chikorita or Totodile, should have been a Gen 6, but obviously Pokemon don't like doing being formulaic anymore. So, you know, fair. That's okay. That's not a problem. I think that's also the reason why Z-A is set in the future as opposed to the past, is just to not get stale very quickly with the theming of these games. But as things stand, these 3 starters, they're just not for me. Like, Gen 5, Emboar is my least favorite. Final Evolution is my least favorite. Middle Evolution, and it's my least favorite, starter. Base Evolution. Chikorita is my least favorite for, again, all 3 of those in Gen 2. And then Totodile is just middle of the pack all the way through. Now, like I said in my tweet, we are likely to get Megas for these 3. Now, we could also get Regionals, but the caveat for Regionals is we probably wouldn't get Megas. So what would you prefer? You prefer Megas or prefer Regionals? I think Regionals would be more interesting because it would actually shake up the design and what the Pokemon's going to be doing in the future when eventually they end up in real games outside of the Legends sub-series, right? Like with the Hisuians and how they ended up. But the reason I suggest we probably won't get Megas if we get Regionals is because, well, think about, Colossian Fraligatite and Colossian Meganimite and Colossian Emberite, right? Unless we got just a generic Emberite Megastone, but then you'd have to give the original version a Mega as well. Otherwise, you could give Emberite to Emboar and it wouldn't be able to Mega Evolve. You know what I mean? So if we get Regionals, it probably means no Megas. If we get Megas, it probably means no Regionals. We could get both. And if we get both, oh my lord, I'd be blown away. But I'm not expecting it. I'm expecting one or the other. And given it's a Kalos game, Megas makes the most sense, but they could throw us a curveball and give us Regionals. Or both, as I said. But I think Megas makes, at least from a cursory glance, the most sense. But as I have said, Pokemon don't like being formulaic anymore, so there's that. But again, these 3 don't speak to me. What happens to me in these games is going to have to really do it. Right, Lumiose, we get the map. I don't know how I feel about it being set in a single city. Because yes, the city is going to be massive compared to how it was in, X and Y, obviously. In X and Y, you can barely visit most of the city. So let's say the map is probably going to be about, let's say, 3 to 4 times bigger than original Lumiose. Well, that's still not comparable to a full region, is it? That's the only issue. Now, we've got these zones. I think we see in the trailer at zone 16, so there's at least 16 zones of mini wild areas. At least 16 mini wild areas within the city, so it's going to be quite large. But it's probably not going to, compare to a full-on region. So they're probably going to throw us a curveball, and there's probably going to be something more to this game than just Lumiose City. I've not seen leaks or anything, so I don't know. If you do know in the comments, do let me know if there's, I don't know, they're going to throw something at us like they did in the Breath of the Wild 2, whatever the bloody hell that was called, because its name's escaping me off the top of my head. Good Christ. But you know what I mean, whether they just didn't announce the underground area and it was just in the game, and the game was actually just double the size that it was revealed to be. You know what I mean? So we might get something like that. Who knows? But as things stand, just being set in Lumiose. Dubious at best. It depends how alive the city feels. If the city actually feels alive and lived in and active, then yeah, sure, grand. But if it feels anything like it did in X and Y, no. And also from this little map, let me zoom in a little bit. I didn't zoom in at all. There, right. Having a look at the map, right. We can see a couple of things here. I could probably zoom in a bit more, but we got Chandelure, obviously. So we got Chandelures, we got Curliers. Curliers make sense because we've seen Mega Gardevoir, Mega Gallade. Magikarp's going to be a very Furfrou. I think this is the first time Furfrou is going to be in a game since Gen 6. Insane. Obviously, we've got the Fletchling line, you know, Talonflame, Hawlucha, Starmie. We know that Lucario is in the game. Obviously, Aegislash. The only thing I care about, good lord, Aegislash is my beloved. Obviously, the fairies, Emolga, good Christ. Pikachu, of course. Houndoom, sorry. That's a good one. I like that. Gumi. We see a Gumi there. And obviously the bug, and there's a Bunnelby. Any other things I can catch just on the map? Also the Honedge. In fact, I could just do this. Oh, that literally doesn't help at all. Bugger off. Right, zoom out. But yeah, it really depends on how they do the full city and whether there's more to it than just the city. I hope there is. Get a couple more shots. Patrat, Badoo. Anything else there? Yes, Patrat and Badoo's in that image. Pidgey. I can't click these to make them bigger, so yeah, cool. These ones, obviously we got the trainers. I think the design on the trainers is actually really cool. This hotel, I think this is the one run by AZ. Hotel Z, yeah, definitely run by AZ. Looking very run down compared to the rest of the city, covered in vines, but it also looks quite nice on the inside, so. Hey, speaking of AZ, brother is a tall man. Good Christ. Right, the wild zones, here's what we're talking about. I fucking love these two. Cloyitza and Dragalge, I love those two. Genuinely some of my favorite Gen 6 Pokemon. I love those two. They're really cool. Ampharos, obviously, because Mega is in the thing. Sandor, were they in X and Y? Probably. I imagine most of the Pokemon that are in X and Y are going to be in these games. Was it Fletchling? Yep, Chikorita there, doing stuff. Interesting, we don't see level 15, so I think that's one level off. No. 3 levels off one it would normally evolve. I think Chikorita is the late evolving one of the trio. So yeah, of course we won't see the evolution. And then we get to the most interesting thing. This, I think, is going to be... Also Hippowdon, hell yeah. But this is going to be the thing that makes or breaks ZA. The real-time battles excite me to no end. This is something that obviously has been talked about for eons. Real-time Pokemon battles. Change it from the turn-based formula, right? This is something that has been in discussion for, well, basically as long as I've been alive, I think, in the Pokemon sphere. And it's a thing. This, you know, fan suggestion that has been around for millions of years is now a thing. And I'm both excited and skeptical. If it's handled well, and it plays well, and it handles well, I might have to get some new Switch controls, because mine have got some serious drift, which will not make real-time combat fun. This will be incredible. If it's handled badly, well, it's gonna suck. Right, obviously. This is gonna be the make or break thing about these games, is how the real-time battles work. If they're really, really good, then this game will be infinitely replayable. If they're bad, I can't. Also, whoever lives in this house that this Hippowdon has dropped on, I feel so bad, because Hippowdon's like several, like 100 tons or something. Yeah, pull them. But also, I love that he sets up stealth rocks and the Talonflame flies into it and dies. That's so cool. The train hazards are now actually like, oh my, genuinely, the real-time battles, so exciting. You now get to employ, you can actually, you know, like it was in the TV show. You can dodge. You can dodge! And it seems like some attacks will be like homing. We see like Water Gun, I think, homes. Like it doesn't miss on like rollout, which we can see clearly miss. And I imagine moves will be scaled based on how easy and hard they are to hit. For example, Water Gun, if it is homing, so probably like Ember and like Razor Leaf, they'll probably all be homing, and they'll probably also be, you know, lower damage. Whereas something like Rollout, which is hard to hit, more damage, and it probably won't function the same way it does in the regular games where it just builds up damage over turns. It'll probably be high damage, big wind up, harder to hit, easier to dodge, but bigger payoff if you do land it. So status effects are probably also, so paralyzed, you'll probably randomly stop moving. You know, when you get paralyzed, sleep, you won't be able to move at all. Again, I'm really excited for the real-time battles. This is the crux of ZA. Let's actually see what they get. In previous Pokemon titles, Pokemon once per turn, and ZA trainers and their Pokemon will move around in real time during battles. Pokemon release their moves when the trainers command them to, as you can see by this here. Your buttons. Protect is an interesting one. It seems like moves will probably have cooldowns as well. I think we see that in the trailer. But very interesting also, running a split. Lucario, very suboptimal. You got Mark Punch and you got Dragon Pulse. Come on. What are you doing? Also, what's going on? I assume that's Amnesia, Protect, Heavy Slam, and Stealth Rock's only one actual attacking move. But I guess in this, Stealth Rock is an attacking move, so I suppose. But yeah, I'm very excited for what's going to go on here with these battles. In addition to type matchups, there will be new gameplay mechanics to consider, such as precise timing of swapping out your Pokemon. We do see that in the trailer where they switch to an Onyx and dodge an attack. So that's something really interesting to think about. That if you switch your Pokemon item, you can completely avoid damage. Really, really interesting stuff. I'm super excited for like how this is going to play out. Like genuinely, the battle system is where it's at for me. The trainers, again, I've already talked. I really like the design. Like, they dripped out as fuck. Like, these characters, these trainer designs are actually really, really cool. Some of the best trainer designs in a while. Right? These look really, really good. Again, I've already talked about my thoughts on the starters and what's going to happen with them. Out of the three, just off the bat, I would probably pick Totodile. Because I don't actively dislike. I'm not, you know, a hater. But I would never willingly pick these two. But Totodile I would pick sometimes on occasion. So Totodile is the pick here, but it depends on whether we get regionals or megas and how they look. It's purely what it comes down to. And then we get, presumably, our rival character here. Again, they look really cool. I really like the designs on these two. It's genuinely, like, the aesthetic and the visuals of the game look really cool. But look at AZ. Man's fucking long. Like, bro, it's, and also, it's been 3,000 years, right? But AZ's Floette, the Eternal Flower, Floette, after being in the code of X and Y with the signature move from 1,000,000 bloody years ago, is now a real Pokemon that you can actually presumably acquire. This is a real thing. AZ's Floette is now a real thing and not just a figment of our imagination that was just lingering in the code. Insane. Yes, this thing being real, crazy. We get this company that is going to be, you know, working on the development. I imagine the like plot of this game is going to be, we're going to be developing Lumiose, and Zygarde probably won't be happy about it, because we do see Zygarde in the trailer. We see the cells wiggling around the roof, and we see 10% form on the roof as well. This guy being primarily green as well, he's probably going to have some connection to Zygarde. That is a Pancham and a Baneri on his head, I think. Yeah, looks like it. Yes, I'm wondering if he's going to have some connection. And yes, here is Zygarde. The Legendary Pokemon. So this is where, obviously, Zygarde's going to be the focus of the game, and I'm imagining it's probably, it's order, I think balance or something is what this Pokemon actually is about. Yeah, the order Pokemon. Probably not going to be happy about Lumio City expanding or something, and that's going to be the plot. I don't know. That's just a complete shot in the dark. I have no idea what's going to be going on with Zygarde in this game, but very interesting to see. And I'm wondering how they're going to include other legendaries, because that's the other thing with it being set in a city. Is how are you going to include other legendaries? Like Yveltal and Xerneas, how are they going to be involved? Are they going to be involved? How are you going to integrate other legendaries into this game other than just Zygarde? Because you're set in the city. And it'd be very weird if it's just Yveltal is just sat at the top of Lumiose Tower like, yeah, bro, what's going on? And Xerneas is just prowling around the streets, you know what I mean? So there's got to be something more, otherwise Zygarde is the only one that makes sense. And again, Zygarde, when you find him, is in the cave, so maybe there's an underground? Couldn't tell you. Could not tell you. And obviously, Megas that we get back. Obviously, yeah. I mean, just look at it. Again, the games look really good. The games look really, really good. So far, no new Megas announced, but again, this is basically the first, this is the first and only real trailer for ZA. And God, they look so good. God, they look so fucking good. I'm wondering if Mega Evolution is going to be like a timed buff, and it's not going to be a permanent transformation for the battle in these. I wonder. We're going to find out. But Mega Evolution seems crazy. Yeah. 2025. God, they look so good. I imagine we'll probably get more Megas than just the starters if they get Megas. Probably some other Pokemon will get Megas, but hey. Those are my thoughts on ZA. Just rambling through as we scroll to the website. From everything we've got, I'm cautiously optimistic. The battle system looks incredible. The setting doesn't sell me yet. But again, it depends if there's more than just Lumiose City as is. So, I hope we can maybe go out of Lumiose, under Lumiose, above Lumiose. Right? And there'll be more. But, obviously, we've only had one trailer. So, I'll keep my expectations fair. And with that out of the way, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Leave a like. As I said, comment. Subscribe, trying to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. Hit the notification bell, share the video around. But out of the way, I've been Aussie. You've been you. Hope to catch you next time for another video. Ta-ta. For now.